I'd like to thank everybody for coming out to the parent cookie training. It's really important for you to be here tonight because I'm going to go over the things with you that I'm going to go over with the girls. But it's important that you are behind your girls whenever it comes to selling cookies because they take their cues from you. If you're excited about it, they're excited about it. With the cookie sale this year, it is called What Can a Girl Do? Lead the Change, and the mascot is a polar bear, and it's a really cute polar bear. We also this year still have our Operation Sweet Treat, which we're going to talk about also. And if you don't know what that is, we'll explain that further. You will have permission slips to sign because we want your permission that you are going to let your daughter sell, and it's important that we do get those back. So there is paperwork for you to fill out this evening, so don't leave before you give those back to me, okay? Let's talk about the cookie sale and why we do it. The council lets us do 2 different product sales a year that they sponsor, and that is our fall product sale, which we've already had. But the cookie sale is our biggest fundraiser, and the reason that it is because the cookies do cost a little bit. They are $4 a box. And that money goes toward a lot of things, not just our girls. But when the girls are selling cookies, they learn how to set goals. They learn how to make decisions on how they're going to spend their money. They learn money manners. They learn people skills. And they also learn business ethics. We teach the girls that whenever we are selling cookies, either at a booth or if we're walking around the neighborhood, one thing that we set with the girls is to always be polite and always wear your uniform because that's very important. We tell the girls that no matter what somebody tells you, if you ask them to buy a box of cookies, if they tell you no, you thank them anyway. If they buy a box of cookies, you thank them. If they need help with their cookies, help them with their cookies. These are polite things that we teach the girls, and it's good business ethics because if you're walking around a neighborhood and your neighbor, for instance, buys 4 boxes of cookies from your daughter and she brings them into the household, she's going to remember your daughter the next year and want to buy them from her. So we try to teach the girls to be very professional and very polite. With the people skills, we teach them to look people in the face and ask, speak up, be heard. That really helps them later on in life because then they know if they look someone in the eye and talk to them, they will talk back because they understand what you're saying. When it comes to goal setting, what we do is we have the girls make a decision. We put up on a poster board, what would you like to spend your money on? And then the girls, as a collective, decide on what they want to spend their money on. And then we decide about how much it's going to cost so we can set a personal goal for each individual girl. We understand each girl is not going to sell 250 boxes of cookies or 500 boxes of cookies. That's really unrealistic because of the different backgrounds that you guys come from. Some may be stay-at-home moms, some may be CEOs, some people may even have a situation at work that you can't sell items. So we make a troop and a personal girl goal. Your daughter is going to be bringing home a sheet with her own personal girl goal on it, and we really ask you to help her with that goal. If she's close to it, buy an extra box of cookies. If she's not close to it, then sit down and ask her, okay, what can we do? What can I do? How can we sell 2 or 5 or 10 more boxes of cookies? Because it will make her feel special when she sees that you are taking an interest in what she is doing. Money management that we teach them is, even though that we have set a goal on what we're going to do, where we're going to go, and about how much money we need, what the girls will do before the cookie sale is over is if they decide to take a trip, we will get together as a troop and all of us parents in this room and make some phone calls and see how much is a hotel room going to be if we need one. How much is the visit to the location going to be if we need one? About how much money are we going to need for gas? So that way we can help the girls come up with a budget. So that way later on in life when they decide they want to take a trip or they want to go on vacation, they can make those decisions themselves because we are teaching them right now. And the sooner we teach them, the better off that they are. Let's talk about the money. Okay, everybody wants to know why are Girl Girl Scout cookies $4 a box. And I'm sure you asked yourself the same question. Why can I go buy keyboard cookies for $3.29, but why should I buy Girl Scout cookies for $4? Well, let me explain that to you. Our troop gets 57 cents off of each box of cookies. There's a lot of other places out there that don't get that. But with our Girl Scout Council, we are also given the option of foregoing the incentives and actually taking more money. So if your daughters decide that they don't want the incentives that they're offering this year, then we can get more money to take our trips. And I will be explaining that to the girls more. And if you want to sit in for that, you're welcome to do so. But where does all that money go? If we get 57 cents, we're looking at a whole lot more money, right? This money goes toward things that helps your daughter. It goes for programs, it goes for camperships, it goes for camp, it goes for the running of the council office because somebody has to pay for the lights. That money, they don't give it to them for free, just like camp. Our camp is open year round, so we have people up there year round. It helps pay for salaries, it helps pay for financial aid for girls that can't afford their memberships. You'll see in the incentive package that we have, if the girls sell so many boxes of cookies, they qualify for scholarships. And that's at every age level, from kindergarten to 12th grade. We have a lot of girls that have gone to college off of those scholarships. And if you're starting to sell now at a young age, you can collect those scholarships until the girls are ready to go to college. And then you cash them in, and who knows, it may help pay for your first year. Is there any questions about where the money goes?
No, I think we're good.
Okay, so let's go over what Operation Sweet Treat really is. Operation Sweet Treat is where your customer will buy a box of cookies for $4. You don't actually give it to them, but they will donate $4 to go toward a box of cookies to go to the troops overseas. These cookies mean a lot to the troops overseas because it's just something from home, it's something they're familiar with, and it's a great opportunity for the girls. So if you get somebody that says, oh, I've done bought a case of Girl Scout cookies, have your girls look at them and say, well, thank you for sponsoring Girl Scouts, but would you like to send a box of cookies to the troops? This year with Operation Sweet Treat, we're asking each girl to sell 10 boxes of Operation Sweet Treat cookies. It's really easy to sell if the girls just ask. Or if you're out and you're helping your daughter, just remind her, Operation Sweet Treat. Last year we sent over 25,000 boxes of cookies overseas, along with letters that was attached to each one of them. So what we will do here is each week whenever we meet, we will have the girls to write postcards and letters of encouragement to go along with our Operation Sweet Treat cookies. It means a lot to the troops, and they do get those cookies, believe it or not, but they do get them. This year our goal is 28,000 packages of Operation Sweet Treat cookies, and I would like for our troop to be a part of that success. So if you have any questions about that. But let me tell you another good reason to sell those Operation Sweet Treat cookies. We have this year, for every 10 boxes that the girls sell, their name's going to go into a drawing. And they're giving away $50 Walmart gift cards and $100 Walmart gift cards.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important that you send those in, because do you know what $100 can do come March and April? Especially with getting your daughters through the end of that school year. So I'm going to send home a letter that looks like this that talks about Operation Sweet Treat and all the incentives that you get. They're also giving away some Operation Sweet Treat souvenir dog tags, so there'll be a drawing for those as well. It is very imperative that we do this, okay? It's not just an extra thing to do. If you have people that say, well, you know, I'm not quite sure if I want to do that, can you tell me a little bit more? We have these nice little cards here that will fill you in a little bit more on those, as well as the girls. And we'll read these to the girls because I know you can read, so I don't need to sit and read this to you. But we will go over it with the girls, and we ask you to please go over it with the girls too. This will be on the front of their order cards whenever they bring them home for pre-orders, okay? And I'll have one posted at each one of our cookie booths in case they forget, or because sometimes they get nervous. We also have here a tax receipt. So if you have somebody that buys cookies, especially someone that buys a lot of cookies, you may ask them, do you want a tax receipt? You may be able to write that off your taxes. And if they say yes, then you can go ahead and give this to them now, and that way they can check to see if they can take it off and not have to come back to you for a tax receipt, because I don't know about you guys, but I'm not going to remember how many cookies somebody bought from me at a cookie booth, okay? So we'll be sending home everybody one of these too, a whole sheet. If you need more, let me know and we'll get you some copies, okay? Is there anything else? Any questions about Operation Sweet Treat?
I think we're good.
Okay. Okay, let's talk about the cookies themselves. How do we get the cookies? Well, we have gone to something called a direct sale. So me as a Girl Scout leader, come December, I have to go ahead and put my order in, okay? The girls are going to go ahead and set their own personal goals on how many cookies that they think they'll sell, and I'm going to order half that amount, okay? We can always get more cookies, so please sell your cookies, okay? Now we're going to go ahead and give you the order cards early, but you need to check your dates on there because you cannot sell until the sale actually starts, okay? In January, you cannot sell before January, okay? Let me see if they gave me the date for that.
I think I read somewhere it was January the 1st.
You might be right. It may be January the 1st. I'm pretty sure that it is. And that's going to be on our paperwork too. So make sure you check all your dates, okay? Because we don't want you out there selling or the girls out there selling or there'll be order cards. And because we want all the girls to be honest and fair, just like our promise says, okay? So please be honest about that. We can always get more cookies. So whenever you take your pre-orders out, okay, I'm going to be getting the cookies to me because the truck's supposed to be in sometime between January 14th and 17th. So our service unit cookie manager is going to call me up and say, hey Dawn, your cookies are in. When she tells me when I can pick up my cookies, I am going to give you guys a call so y'all can come help me count them and distribute them to the girls, okay? I will let you know just as soon as I know so that way you can make room for your pre-ordered cookies, okay? Now, whenever you deliver those pre-ordered cookies, make sure you collect your money on that, okay? Up front. Don't let somebody say, I'll catch you Friday. If they say, I'll catch you Friday, then say, I'll have your cookies for you Friday. Because there's so many times that the girls don't get paid. And if you have somebody that orders a case of cookies, that money has to come from somewhere. And we're going to be looking for that coming from you, okay? Now, let's say that you did your pre-orders, and I keep telling you to keep selling. So you have another little order card there that you can keep with you, and you're ordering more cookies. So when you come to pick up cookies from me, I'm going to have some extras so we can fill those orders right then, okay? We can continue to get cookies up until the end of February, okay? I'll have my dates and I will let you know when the last call for cookies is so that way you don't have to remember those dates. I'll keep you informed and we'll keep you up to date each week on what's going on, okay? Now, if you need more cookies, you need to let me know by Friday night, okay? Give me a call by 10 o'clock Friday night and say, I need more cookies, and let me know how many cookies you need, okay? Now, don't order a whole lot of cookies assuming that you're going to go out there and sell them, because for every receipt you sign, I'm holding you responsible for those cookies. So if you tell me you want 3 cases of every kind of cookie that we have, I'm going to expect you to turn in that money to me, okay? Now, let me explain this to you too. The council takes so much money out of our checking account 3 times during the cookie sale, okay? We have to have money in that account to cover the amount that they're going to tell us that they're going to withdraw. So I need your money just as soon as you get it. So if you want to call me up every Friday and meet me somewhere, or me come over to your house to collect your money, I will do that. That is not a problem. If you want to bring it to each one of our troop meetings, that is not a problem. But make sure you get me your money as soon as possible, okay? Now, make sure that you put your money in a safe, secure location so somebody don't break into your car or steal your pocketbook or something like that and take that money from you, because you are ultimately responsible for that, okay? Is there any questions about who's responsible for the money?
No, loud and clear.
Okay. Because if you don't pay, it comes out of our girls' account, and then they don't get to go do what they budgeted to do, okay? All right. And you're clear that you can continue to get cookies from me,
Yes.
correct? Okay. Now, we had talked earlier that not everybody's gonna sell the same number of boxes of cookies, okay? Because we have different lifestyles, and some can sell at work, some cannot sell at work, some people don't work, okay? So let's talk about a cookie booth, okay? We have something that we call a cookie lottery that our service unit cookie manager sets up. She contacts businesses and organizations, and they let us sign up for a time to come out and sell at their locations, okay? I'm gonna be going to this in December to sign us up for some cookie booths, all right? And I'm gonna need for each one of you guys to commit to work a cookie booth with us. It's very easy to do. Again, you will be responsible for the money as well as the cookies. And we want at least 2 adults at each cookie booth and at least 2 girls at each cookie booth. And they have to be in uniform, but you don't, but they do. You're not there to sell the girls cookies. You are there just to monitor them and keep them safe, and to make sure that they give back the correct change and that kind of thing, because sometimes they get a little nervous and might give back a little too much or a little too less. So we are asking you to please sign up for those cookie booths. This is where you're going to get the biggest majority of your sales, okay? This is where a lot of our sales come through. And the way we work a cookie booth is I try to be as fair as possible. If we're working a cookie booth for, say, 6 hours, okay, that may seem like a long time, but it's really not, because we ask each one of you parents just to sign up for an hour or 2. If the first 2 girls go in and they sell 10 boxes of cookies, and that's all they sell for the first hour, but yet another set of girls come in and they're there for an hour and they sell 250 boxes of cookies, we're not going to give the first 2 girls just 5 boxes each and give the other 2 girls 125 each. What we do is we take all the girls that work the booth that day, we add up all the cookies that we sold that day, and we divide it by that number of girls, okay? So it doesn't matter how many boxes you sell in the hour in which you choose to work. It's how many we sell overall, okay? This helps the girls with the team building thing, because they know that we're going to set a goal for each booth on how much we would like to sell, and it's up to the girls to meet that goal per booth sale, okay? Is there any questions there? Do you understand how we do that?
Thank you for making it fair for our girls.
You're welcome. You're welcome. That's the only way we can do it, because you don't know how many people's going to be out in the morning, how many people's going to be out in the afternoon. Okay. All right. I'm going to get you some paperwork, and we're also going to get you the incentive cards that shows what the girls can earn, okay? And I'm going to go over some of the bigger items with you. You know, the more that they sell, the more that they'll get, because it may be a little complicated for you, especially if you're not going to take the incentives. So we're going to come back, and I'm going to go get that paperwork for you. Everybody take a brief break, and I'll have you some paperwork when you get back, okay? Well, let's talk about incentives. Here is this year's incentives. And with the way we do the incentives, it can be a little confusing sometimes. So I'm just going to kind of go over it with you, okay? If the girls choose, and the whole troop has to choose to do either the incentives or the extra money, okay?
You mean extra money per box?
Extra money per box, yes ma'am. Okay, each girl that sells 12 boxes of cookies is going to get a participation patch, okay? And then for the first 50 boxes that they get, they'll get an achievement patch as well to go with this patch. We also do a walkabout, which they can also earn a patch for, and that's where we go out into the neighborhood, or you can go out into your neighborhood, and we walk around and we sell cookies, you know, out of our little reusable totes, or if you've got a wagon, that would be great if we could use, you know, wagons to put the cookies in. and we go out and we sell cookies that week. Now, your daughter don't have to sell 24 boxes at one day, but if she walks around the neighborhood, she may do it on Saturday and then maybe do it again Sunday afternoon. But we'll talk about that, and I think that we should probably do that as a troop. We may get better responses, but they do still get a patch for that, okay? If they sell between 75 and 124 packages, they get this cute little polar bear necklace, which some of the girls just really love those. We all love our little water bottles, so anything between 125 and 149 packages, that's what you get. Now this cute little teddy bear here, I don't know how many of you guys like little stuffed animals. You can get him for 150 packages to 174. Now, let's say you have more stuffed animals in your house than you care to count, okay? And your daughter chooses to forego the polar bear because you've talked her out of it. She can also choose the $6 in cookie dough instead of the polar bear, okay?
What's cookie dough?
That is a good question. Cookie dough is credits that you earn, and what we use them for is you can use them at the Girl Scout Council office. And you can buy anything out of the store that you want, and it can be used for camp, if your daughter wants to go to camp. And you can accumulate these because you'll see throughout these, you'll earn $6 here or $12 there, and it's not that you just get $6, it adds up. It's like putting money in a checking account. So if she chooses the $6 here, but let's say she sold 195 boxes of cookies, then she goes to this next prize level where she can also choose another $6. So if she foregoes this prize and this prize, now she's got $12 worth of cookie dough, okay? Not just 6. And then since she did 195 boxes, that puts her over here to where she can say, okay, do I want a t-shirt or do I want the other $6 worth of cookie dough, which now gives her $18 worth of cookie dough, okay? So there's some choices there that you get to make on which prizes that she would want to get.
So those rewards then are cumulative. So if she sells 195, she doesn't just get the t-shirt, she gets the t-shirt and all the other things
And
as well.
all the other things, yes ma'am.
Good
They
deal.
get all of that. So let's say for instance that she wants the necklace and the water bottle, but she doesn't want any of these other ones, but she's sold enough to collect all those, she can get cookie dough for it. And then that way she can go to the council office and spend it, or she can spend it on camp or something
Can you use
like
it
that.
on registration?
You can use it on next year's registrations. But we hope to be able to sell enough cookies that we can pay for the girls' registrations next year, so that way she gets to use her cookie dough that she earned so much. Okay? Now, the prizes get better and better the more you sell. Okay? And like I said, with the cookie booth and with your own personal selling, those get added together to come up with these, okay? Your daughter don't have to sell all this on her own, okay? All this comes up together. Now let's say, for instance, and I really hope each one of the girls get to do this, but we also have an incentive here for the 500 mark. And let me tell you about what happens if you get 500 boxes of cookies, okay? And I'd love to see each one of our girls get 500 boxes of cookies. If they get 500 boxes of cookies, they go into what we call our Geo Girl Scouts, okay? And what Geo Girl Scouts get is they get this nice, wonderful letter inviting them to one free day at Wet n Wild Emerald Point. Now, if you've ever been to Wet n Wild, you know it's the best water park ever. It's in Greensboro. We have a great time. There's this huge ceremony for the girls. They get to walk across the stage and they get this cute little pin that says, I'm a Geo Girl Scout, and it's awesome. If you've never gone, it's a really wonderful thing to go do. And the girls get to wear the pins on their uniforms, and that is the best part of it, because the girls are really proud of all the pins that they have on their uniforms because they earn them. Another thing that they also get with that 500 is not just a free day at Wet n Wild Emerald Point and not just a pin, but they also qualify for another gift that they can get, and it's called Camp Thanks a Lot. Okay, has anybody ever gone?
That's at the 360 package level, if I read correctly on the internet.
Yes, you have to sell 360 boxes. Well, let me tell you about Camp Thanks a Lot. I know that there's some articles on there, and I know the dates are on there too, so this may be something that you want to take a look at. Now, at the 360 mark, you get, let's see here. At the 360 mark, which is right here, and you'll see this on your cards here. At the 360, they can either get this wonderful backpack. It's a really nice backpack. It's got a place for your water bottle. It's really good for our day hikes. Or you can get the Camp Thanks a Lot. Now, me and my daughter went to Camp Thanks a Lot last year because we wanted to see what it was all about, because she qualified to go. We had the best time. We went up to Camp Pisgah and it rained from the time we got up that morning until the time we got home the next afternoon. But it was so much fun. We got into the kayaks and canoes. It didn't matter if you got wet because you were soaked anyway. But you had fun. You didn't have to worry about getting sunburned. It was a lot of fun. We did archery. It was my daughter's first time doing archery, and she loved it. So now she's all over us about getting her an archery set for Christmas. We did crafts. We had some amazing food, and we made some really great friends there too. I mean, not just her, but me as well, because now whenever I go to some of my meetings, I see some of those people, and it's awesome to see them. So that may be something that you and your daughter would like to do together, because they do have to take a female adult, and it is so much fun to do.
So a parent gets to go free as well?
Yes, a parent gets to go free. So this is something for two of you. So as hard as you're working, now you get a little something too, okay? And I'm glad that you brought that up. A parent gets to go for free. Well, let me tell you what, you're out there and you're helping your daughter sell these cookies, and we want to show you, the Girl Scouts want to show you how much they appreciate that. So remember I told you about that free Wet n Wild Emerald Point ticket that the girl gets? Well, guess what? If you decide to take this cookie dough, you can take the cookie dough, okay? Your daughter can take that cookie dough and buy you a ticket to go with her to Wet n Wild Emerald Point. Now, do you think your daughter would do that? I know mine would. Would yours? I'm sure that they would. Because they want you to go with them to Wet n Wild Emerald Point. And if for some reason your daughter won't do that for you, your leader will have a information sheet, or you can go on the web and you can get tickets at a discounted price. Because we have a special Girl Scout Day that day, because we want all Girl Scouts to come in, and we want them all to go to that GEO presentation, because that also helps some of the younger girls that's never seen what GEO is participate, and it's really great for you guys too. So it's another thing that they do. Remember we talked about scholarships earlier? Mm-hmm. Well, that's one of the things that they do at this, and this is why it is so so phenomenal. It's a ceremony that like no other. Now, right here, this is going to tell you, this sheet right here is going to give you all of your important dates that we talked about earlier. But this right here is going to tell you about the scholarships, okay? And I'll just go over it briefly. Okay, on the Daisy level, they give away 2 $500 scholarships. On the Brownie level, they give away 3 $500 scholarships. Junior level, they give away 4 $500 scholarships. Now, this is where you need it. This is where you need it. Cadets. Now, we all know that our daughters want to stay in this for the long run, right? Cadets is 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. That's when your daughters are starting to think about college and what they're wanting to do. Here, they give away 5 $1,000 scholarships. Now, and then whenever they get to the older ages, like the seniors and ambassadors, where they are in high school, and by this time they've done set their mind if they're going to go to college or not. Now you have a chance for 5 $2,000 scholarships. Okay, so if your daughter is a cadet this year and she qualifies for one of these scholarships, and say she gets 1,000, and next year she's an ambassador, then guess what? Or she's a senior next year, she can get a $2,000 scholarship. So her name goes in for a drawing, and if she wins it, she gets the scholarship.
So all those are done by a drawing, and you sell 500 boxes to get your name in the drawing.
Yes, you have to sell 500 boxes to get your name in that drawing, and they give them out that day. So you know if you win that day, it's not you get a letter, you get a phone call, and they pull your daughter up on stage and say, "Hey, look what you got." And it's really impressive for the girls because they like to see, they like to win stuff. We know that, right? Now, not only do they do that, but the top 10 sellers get this awesome medal. So if your daughter didn't sell the most in the council, that doesn't mean that she doesn't get anything. But if she's one of the top 10, she gets this awesome medal that she can wear. And she gets that there that day too. So they get treated like a princess that entire day because really they are special. Okay? Does anybody have any questions about the GO or selling the 500 boxes of cookies or the 360?
So if you elect higher proceeds, just so I'm clear, then you don't get the merchandise items, but you still get all the patches and those types of things.
Yes, you still get the patches, okay? Because once your daughter sells the 10 boxes for Operation Sweet Treat, that's her patch, okay? Even if she sells 50, she gets one patch, okay? If she goes with us to do the walkabout, and our girls average 24 boxes on that walkabout, she gets that patch. Now, so right there, if she sells the 24 plus the 10, and you sell or you buy a couple cases of cookies, she can get the participation patch because she's already sold 12 boxes. Okay, so she gets that patch. And the more she sells, the more this achievement bar goes up because you get it at the 50, the 100, the 150, the 2, the 250. And what that does is that just signifies how many boxes that she sold for that particular year. And the walkabout, and like I said, the walkabout patch, if she goes with us and we average 24 boxes per girl, she's going to get that patch. So the patches she gets, no questions, once she earns it. If the girls choose not to take the incentives, we can take the higher price, okay, the higher incentives, which is 65 cents per box of cookies. Now, we've got 10 girls in our troop, and if each one of them sells 500 boxes of cookies, and you take that and multiply it together, and multiply that by 65, I am sure whatever trip they choose to go on, we can go on it and have extra spending money, okay? All right, but that will be their choice on how they want to spend their money, and we are going to be doing the goal setting, okay? All right, is there any other questions about the incentives, the patches, or anything to that effect? Because I want you to be clear. You're going to get this information, but I want you to understand the information. Okay? Okay? So, we've got something great this year, and it's new, and I'm going to give you a web address to go on, but it's important that you listen on how we do it. Because if you don't do it correctly, your daughter will not get credit for the cookies that she sells, okay? But this year, they're doing something called Cocoa Direct, okay? And that's where you can get your family members that live, you know, out of town or that you're not going to see, that you'll see at Christmas, but you're not going to see in January and February because you just took that trip to California to see them at Christmas time and you can't get back out there again. Well, guess what? With Cocoa Direct, okay, you can let them know that your daughter is selling Girl Scout cookies, and they can order them straight from the factory, get them shipped straight to their home, and that way you don't have to do it. How many of us have gone to the post office and had to mail cookies to family out of town?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It is a pain to do that, right? Well, this way they get it shipped straight to them. They're fresh from the bakery. You don't have to take them out of your closet or anything like that, and you don't have to pre-order them either because they're going to ship them straight to them. And what they do is they go online. They pull up your daughter's name. They're going to order the cookies. Now, they do have to get 6 packages of the same type of cookie dough. But I don't know about you guys, but I could eat a whole case of peanut butter patties and not think twice about it. So I don't have a problem ordering 6 of the same packages of cookies. Okay? And I'm sure that they won't either. Okay? When you go online to do this, it'll give you a little bit more detail, and I believe that there's instructions on there, but I'm also going to give you some instructions because you're not going to remember everything I'm going to say today, okay? The most important thing that you need to remember today, okay, is however your daughter is registered, that's the same name that you need to use. For instance, my daughter is listed as Madison Okay, so if she goes into Coco and sets up her Coco account and starts sending out all this information to all of our family members about, hey, I'm selling Girl Scout cookies online, can you go in and buy some, that kind of thing. If they pull up Maddie, because that's the way she went in, as Maddie instead of Madison, she's not gonna get credit for those cookies, okay? It has to be exactly the way it is. And they have sent me a list of everybody's name, how it's entered into the registration, how the registration was entered in at the Girl Scout office. So you need to enter it in just that way, so that way she gets credit for those cookies, okay? So I would really hate for your daughter not to get credit for those 100 boxes or 200 boxes that she sells online to your family members, okay? So that also comes back to if her name was misspelled at the council office, okay, you still have to enter it in even though it's misspelled, okay? Now, my daughter can't go in and put Madison, parentheses, Maddie, parentheses, because she's still not going to get credit because that's not the way it is at the council office. She has to use the name that we registered her with, okay? If it is incorrect, then I will give you somebody's name that you can call and she'll make sure it gets corrected so that way your daughter does get credit for that, okay? But this Coco Direct, I think is going to be great. I think it's really going to help our sales. And this is a way that you can get, remember we talked about those 20 people that you should start thinking about right now that buy cookies? Well, now you can expand that to 30 people because we all have family out of town. So I'm sure that you can get somebody out of those 10 extra out-of-town parents to buy at least 6 boxes of cookies from your precious little daughter, right? Okay. Does anybody have any questions about this Coco Direct?
So you said you could get 6 at the same time. Is there any kind of variety box or?
There is an 8-pack sampler box that you can get, but you can't substitute from that sampler box either, okay?
It comes as is.
It comes as is. So if you don't like the lemon cookies that come in there, well, you're just going to have to find somebody to give those lemon cookies to because you can't get 2 peanut butter patties or caramel delights, okay? All right, any other questions?
I think so.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to give you a whole bunch of information to take home with you. Feel free to highlight it. Feel free to call me. And if I don't know the answer, I can call our service unit cookie manager, and I am sure she can get us the correct answer, okay? I know we're going to have a great cookie sale because we're all going to stand behind our daughters, and we're going to show her what good, strong women can really do when they set their mind to it, right? Because you're going to help them meet that goal. Okay, thank you so much, and your daughter should be coming home really excited next week when we have our troop meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.